What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. Alright, this story's called Karen Goes to a Tattoo Shop. Maybe 10 years ago, I owned a tattoo shop that was located next door, same strip mall, to a piercing shop. I'd gone next door to watch the lobby for the piercer while they ran and grabbed some change. So Karen walks in, and I get why she thinks I work there. I'm sitting behind the counter.
I was here last week and you fricked up my piercing. It's infected now and I need you to fix it.
I don't work here, I'm just...
No, it was you. I remember your tattoos. Look.
She then proceeds to show me her navel piercing, swollen over the cheap, crappy jewelry, obviously not from the upscale shop where I was currently at, and covered in yellow crust. Ugh, the piercer will be right back. He just went...
No, you messed it up and now you're gonna fix it. I'm not dealing with anyone else. They shouldn't have to fix your mistakes.
I don't work here. I haven't done a piercing in years. I'm sure the piercer will be happy to...
Are you calling me a liar? I remember you. I don't want some guy touching me.
Mind you, the only piercers who worked there at the time were men.
You need to help me or I'm gonna have to go to the hospital and have this thing surgically removed, and then I will have to sue you for my medical bills.
Since I'm not a piercer, I don't know for sure, but that thing looks pretty gross. Maybe you should go to the hospital and get it checked out.
I'm not going to the hospital. You're going to fix it. You messed it up. I need this fixed today.
Okay, fill out this form and we'll see what can be done. I was tired of dealing with her. I just wanted her to stop talking. The piercing shop had a long release form that everyone has to fill out, so I gave her one of those to keep her busy till the piercer returned. While she was working on the form, the piercer returned. I explained that she was upset and had an issue with her navel, and then snuck out the back door to return to my much quieter tattoo shop. Maybe 10 minutes pass, and guess who walks into my shop?
I want to get a tattoo done today.
This lady acted like she had never seen me before. No mention of me being in the other shop or anything. I'm sorry, I'm busy today. We're booked out for several months and not able to take any new clients for a while.
I want...
She proceeds to describe a fairly large and detailed tattoo. I can't recall of what.
I know how much tattoos cost, so I don't intend to overpay.
There is no way I can tattoo you today, and I'm about to lock up for lunch. She goes through the gate that separates the lobby from the tattoo station, sits down on my massage table, and holds out $40.
How long do you think this will take? Can I use your phone? I have to call my husband and tell him when I'll be home.
In kind of a stern voice, I'm super non-confrontational, so this was weird for me. Ma'am, you have to leave. You are not getting tattooed here today. I am not taking new clients, and you've been kind of rude both here and next door, and I just plain don't want your business.
Here.
She holds out $40 again.
You're not very busy now, so I don't see what the problem is. How do you even stay open if you refuse to tattoo anyone? Here.
Again with the $40. Me kind of hangry at this point. We tattoo plenty of people. I just won't be tattooing you. You're demanding a $400 tattoo for $40 when I'm already booked and you were rude to me next door. Please take your stuff. She emptied half her purse on the table to show pictures similar to the tattoo she wanted and leave. I'm trying to get lunch before my next appointment.
I don't mind waiting.
Totally annoyed and kinda rude, I say. I'm not tattooing you now or ever. Get your crap and get out of my shop, and don't ever come in here again. At this point, I picked up her tattoo reference photos and shoved them back in her purse to hand them to her. She switched to a full-blown banshee.
What the hell are you doing? Give me my purse. You're trying to rob me. Give me my freaking money back or I'll call the police.
She carried on a bit more, but I can't recall what she said. So I walked to the door, opened it, and threw her purse outside. Call whoever the hell you want, but you need to leave now. She practically leaped for the door, continuing to scream about her purse, the contents of which had spilled from me tossing it, and on her way out, she pushed me hard enough that I cut my shoulder on the corner of a vending machine in the lobby. I locked the door behind her, gathered my things, and left on foot out the back to get lunch at the bar a couple doors down. While I was at lunch, I was there for over an hour working on stuff on my laptop, I got a notification that someone had left a review. Guess who? It was the the most insane and confusing review I ever read. My favorite parts were that I had secretly disclosed having hepatitis to her, and that her nephew was going to do an apprenticeship with us, but wouldn't after how she was treated. The rest of it was profanity and saying my shop was dirty, I'm a drug addict, etc. So I flag it with Google and figured that was the end of that. My shop had a little enclosed patio at the front entrance with seating and a smoking area for clients, as well as a bunch of potted plants and decorations. When I returned, I found all but one of my pots broken. Dirt and plants everywhere. A bench thrown halfway over the fence, the Christmas lights had been torn down, my gate had been kicked or pushed so hard it was sitting crooked on the hinges, my small window had been broken, one of the letters torn off my tattoo sign, and my frickin' car was key. My car had a huge sticker for my shop, and my plate was tattooing you. So it was obvious who to target. Not a little bit keyed either. This bimbo went frickin' crazy while keying my car. There was so much damage, I couldn't believe she'd been able to do it in the hour or so I'd been gone. I was super bummed. No one had seen it happening because the strip mall door / parking lot configuration was kinda weird. So I started crying. I was so bummed about my shop and the car and all of it. I'm really low key and get stressed easy, and this was too much. I then called the police, canceled my next appointment, and went next door to visit while I waited for the cops. I found out that the lady had been crazy rude to the piercer as well, and that he wound up kicking her out as well. She wanted him to replace the crap jewelry she'd gotten it pierced with at another shop with a $150 barbell for free, and became irate when he refused. So irate that he pushed all the flyers from their flyer table onto the ground as she left while cussing him out. So the cops showed up and took a report. It takes me a while to fill everything out, and he took a photo of the cut I got from being pushed, and we showed him the video of her trashing the place. It didn't catch all of it, but enough. The cop was telling me that the report was pretty much just for insurance because we don't know who she is or how to find her, when I remembered the release form. Part of their release form process was to take a photocopy of client ID cards on the form. They have a laminated form you just copy with the ID, so it's all on one page. So that's what I done when I was trying to shut her up. We dug the release form out of the trash, and the cops then had her full name, recent address, which she'd written in because it was different than on her ID card, phone number, etc. She lived not even a half mile from the shop. So the cops drove to her house and arrested her. She got in trouble for all of it. By the time it was over, she had to serve several months in jail, and I assume a long time on probation, and I bet she had to attend classes. Just a guess. I don't know. I got a notification several months later letting me know she'd gotten out of jail, and I remember thinking, damn, she was in there a while. The following day, her husband called me to find out what the damages were so he could cover the costs. By the time I added it up, it was close to $5,000. I was kind of a jerk, and I taxed the hell out of them and quoted him as though I paid people top dollar to fix all the stuff I actually fixed myself, like replace and set up the plants, the fence, etc. He brought an envelope of cash in the day after I told him the cost, or it may have been that evening. It was weird. He was a nice, acting, seemingly normal guy. He apologized and said she has a temper. This means this Karen could have afforded the jewelry she was trying to get for free and the tattoo she was trying to get for cheap. I assume anyway. Seems like he just had the money lying around since he came up with it so fast. But don't worry, none of this stopped Karen. After she got out of jail for about a year, my shop would get these random super weird reviews from random Gmail accounts that had no other reviews. I have no proof it was her, but we never got bad reviews till this happened, and they were all written in the same way. They all just sounded like the same person wrote them. Some of my favorite highlights from the reviews: that I am a prostitute and operate that business out of the shop, that we reuse needles, that we misspelt a tattoo, that I sell drugs from the shop, that you can find nudes of me online, that we tattooed a minor without a parent, that we allow/had dogs in the shop, that we got shut down by the health department, and that I hire illegal immigrants. There was plenty of other stuff, and it was all pretty far out. That's just all I can remember. This lady would write paragraphs of weird crap every time, just rambling lunacy. I was in business for over 15 years. That was the only Karen I ever remember having to deal with. I'm sure there were a few other rude customers, but nothing like that. I wonder if she ever realized that she provided us with the information that made it super easy to track her down right after. Edit. Does anyone else ever feel kinda bad for Karens? Like, it must be kind of hard to live a life where you're always tripping out. Yo. This went like a few levels deeper into the rabbit hole than these stories typically. I mean, that makes it sound like it's outlandish, but honestly, some weird crap going on here. I believe it though. I actually 100% believe. OP seems very honest, so I appreciate that, OP. You admit when you feel like you've probably done something kind of mean, which was overcharging them for the repairs, which I agree with you. The guy was trying to be responsible about it, but I mean, did seem like he could afford it, so I mean, hey, a bag's a bag, and he gave it voluntarily after you were given potential trauma. So hey, it works out, right? No, you should never take more than you're owed. I'm just saying that out loud so people don't think I'm advocating for ripping people off, because that happens. That happens as soon as you bring up a counterpoint, even if I don't agree with said counterpoint, and even if I say explicitly that I don't agree with that, there's always someone that's like, I don't know, like someone's intentionally just not paying attention to what I'm saying, or they could just be meanies who deliberately twist words. Either way, it's not very nice. In fact, I'm inclined to believe that it's very not nice, as opposed to not very nice. Alright, this story's called Yelled At for Not Speaking Spanish by a Karen. A few years ago, I lived in Brazil to study and was taking a weekend trip to a national park on the border with Argentina. I ended up going to the Argentinian side and was just playing tourist. Important background: I speak primarily English, okay Portuguese, and absolutely no Spanish. I can barely string a sentence in Spanish together without just throwing in Portuguese and hoping it works out. The other thing to note is that I'm American. I'm ethnically Portuguese and Polish with nearly black hair and tan very quickly, so I often get mistaken for Brazilian. I'm sorry, this is a little side note, but did you guys hear that story about how someone told George Bush, HW, that like, I think it was like 8 Brazilian people died, and he was like, how much is a Brazilian? It's a funny story. I mean, it's kind of sad, but you can see humor in it, I hope. So to the story. I was hanging out at a bench in the shade by the waterfalls and had just helped some Brazilian tourists with directions when I was approached by a very American tourist. Karen haircut, New Balance tennis shoes, visor, capris, the works. She's trying to communicate with me in incredibly broken Spanish. I think it's awesome that she's trying to speak the local language, so props there. I interrupted her to let her know that I don't speak Spanish, and she looks at me like I stabbed her grandma. She goes off. Of course you speak Spanish, don't lie! Then repeats what she said in Spanish again. I really have no idea what this lady wants, and the group of Brazilians around me are also confused and kinda laughing that, out of everyone, I'm getting the rude American tourist treatment. I interrupted again to let her know that I'm also an American and don't speak Spanish. This set her off again. Don't lie, and why do you assume I'm American? Well, I think based on the fact that I'm American, I can spot another American accent. I heard you giving directions. Do your job and tell me where I need to go. I'm now figuring out this lady wanted directions too, and somehow a teenage girl sitting in a sundress with a bikini top showing underneath is the local employee she needs to get them from. I gave directions in Portuguese to the spot I just came from. I don't work here and I don't speak Spanish. You're clearly not American, you're Latino. No voy hablar en inglés con you. At this point, I realized she is fully crazy and decide I'm gonna exclusively speak in Portuguese from now on. I explained to her in the fastest dialect I can manage that I don't want to help her and she's asked me not to speak English, so I will only be speaking in Portuguese. She should ask someone that cares. This lady then yells, "See, you do speak Spanish!" My friends died laughing and all started chanting, "Brazil, Brazil!" mocking her. We were teens and this was the height of hilarity. Then she started noticing that a few were wearing the Brazil national soccer shirts. I could see it starting to click, but she threw me for a curveball and said, "You Brazilians are such liars! Shame on you for pretending to
to be from here and claiming to be American.
I had to get up and walk away. I still feel the eternal facepalm I experienced that day. First of all, what a freaking champ being that just knowledgeable about anything where you're not from. You get what I'm saying? It's a quality I can appreciate in people because I like it when people know more than me. It's fun because they can tell you stuff and you can take their word for it and you don't have to fact check it and you're just completely content with the knowledge you just received. All right, this story's called No Dress Code for Lowe's Employees! I went to Lowe's to shop for some Christmas lights. Lowe's lets their employees wear casual clothes, but they all wear their distinguishable red vest that says Lowe's Employee. I was basically in pajamas. I was wearing a black t-shirt and gray sweatpants. Anyway, I was looking at LED lights and decided to walk away to a different section. As I walk away, I saw and heard a woman sigh with disgust. I thought I had gotten too close to her, so she was showing her displeasure. A couple of minutes later, I run into the same woman. I saw by the look on her partially visible face that she was frustrated and upset. She then asked me, "Do you work here?" I look myself up and down and say, "No," with a confused look. The look on her face went from upset to embarrassed really quick. She walked away without saying anything else. She grabbed her husband and got as far away as possible. She was upset during the first encounter because she thought I was an employee who was ignoring her. Yikes. Imagine making a stupid mistake like that and being too much of a coward to confront it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed reading from r/Petty Revenge. Oh wait, this isn't Petty Revenge? Is this I Don't Work Here Lady? Oh, I gotta go. Bye! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.